Brought to you by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
All right, everybody, my good friend Gina is here from RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. And the last time we were talking, Gina, about zoning and developing your property, you said there was actually a very specific finite amount of space that you have to have between the edge of your property and the street.
Yeah, so this goes along the lines of, what is the process when you're developing your property or building, or maybe you already own a home and you want to do things to your property, and how the rules and regulations are already in place.
Now, my question is why? If it's my property and I own it and I own the land, I own the house, why can I not build literally all the way to where I'm within, like I'm flush with the street?
So the government has rules in place that, number one, kind of keep property owners from just doing whatever. Have you ever driven through a neighborhood and you're like, wow, what's going on here? Everyone's just doing their own thing. Have you driven through some neighborhoods and you get kind of that sensing?
Yeah,
everyone's
there's
doing
a
their
couple
own
here.
thing? So
I can think of one in Mongwong.
So you know what? The government has regulations in place, and some of the regulations is to keep uniformity. Some is to make sure that the density of the area, we harvest our water, the aquifer, we drill for our water. And so they're trying to make sure that the density, the number of houses for the area doesn't get so dense that it starts affecting our water system. But part of it is too, just to maintain some structure to our buildings, our subdivisions, our residential areas. So it doesn't look like everyone's just doing their own thing. So they have this, so the regulations are, if you already own your property and you want to add on to it, because I'm running across this with a property owner who basically built to the lot line, but you're not allowed to do that based on the building code.
Therefore, he's in violation of the law, or she.
They're in violation of the law. So what a homeowner or somebody looking to buy should understand is that, for the most part, you have to your house has to be at least 15 feet, and this is generally speaking. There might be properties that have a little bit of a difference here and there, but generally speaking, 15 feet away from the front. That way, so when you see most houses, you see that long driveway into the carport or the garage. That's because you need 15 feet buffer from the house to the boundary in the front. From the side, you need 8 feet. So from the side of your house to your boundary line, you need to have an 8-foot buffer. And on the back, you need 10 feet.
And basically that means you'll be 16 feet from your neighbor because 8 feet for you and 8 feet for them.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So you've got a little bit of distance, good fences make good neighbors, good distance makes good neighbors. So I think that was part of the whole concept of having these laws in place. So if you're going to buy a house and that doesn't exist, and a lot of times, if you're purchasing a property, you can't see that some areas it's very obvious. I can tell when something is only 5 or 4 feet away from the side. Let's say the neighbor has a fence, so I can see it, right? But let's say there's no fence, you cannot tell, or you're in a rural area where it's big lots anyway, you cannot tell with the naked eye, so ask for a survey. Or let's say you already own the home and you want to add something onto it. You want to add, like my son wants to move in, I want to add a little, one-bedroom extension to the side of the unit.
Or like everybody does, you want to build an outside kitchen.
Exactly. Have your boundary points marked if you don't already know where they're at before you do the extension. And keep in mind that I could do the extension, but let's say I'm in a residential area and I build this 1-bedroom extension so my kids can move in. Well, maybe I'm not in an area that allows for a duplex, because that's essentially what I've created, a duplex. So what if I do that and now I've got a duplex, but it's illegal based on the zoning law, the zoning that I have on my land? What are my options? Well, I've got to design so that when I'm ready to sell, I should be able to take down that 1-bedroom or add it on to the whole house so it doesn't look like it was a 1-bedroom separate unit. You know what I mean? And I have to make sure that my setback, 10 feet in the back, 8 feet on the side, 15 feet in the front generally, I have to make sure I didn't build into those areas. And you were asking a question earlier, what if you do?
Yeah, so what would the penalty be? So that person who is in violation, because it is statute, if
the Guam law.
Yeah, if they go against that, could they face Jail time, fines?
No, you're not going to face jail time. It is, after all, your property. But what you've done is you've made your property illegal, non-conforming. And in some cases, if this is a concrete structure, what are you going to do? Demolish it? The cost of demolishing it sometimes is about the same as what it costs you to put that up. So in the beginning, when you're designing, I say you design so you could take it down, so you could easily remove it, or design so that it fits in with the regulations.
So basically, you negate and nullify the chance where you can ever sell your house.
That's exactly what you've done. That's your penalties.
Which
now
is a
you
pretty
can't
bad,
sell it.
that is a punishment in and of itself. So
Absolutely.
So long story short, just don't do it. Observe the law.
Or know the law before you do it.
All right, exactly. And go out and have your property surveyed, like
Exactly,
you said. Okay.
exactly.
Information is king, everybody, and the Queen right here has given it to us. Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you, Jace.
All right, Your Grace, we appreciate it very
Thank
much.
you.
All right, please stay tuned, everybody. We are back with more.